Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video giving my thoughts on the premiere episode for the second half of Fear the Walking Dead Season 2, which is going to be airing this Sunday night. And I'll put the link in the description to a few things for you guys for this Sunday for the episode. This one is called Grotesque. So the episode title for it, referencing or referring to Nick, and the description is 208. Grotesque. Nick's steadfast search for answers leads him into a deadly dog-eat-dog landscape. A dark piece of his past is uncovered. So it looks like it might be almost entirely like a Nick episode where we get to see him on the road and we get to see him, maybe walking alongside with the zombies, which sounds really cool. Some good landscape pieces, with regards to the roads and everything. It looks really cool. There is a Nick in Trouble teaser, which I'll put the link to undeadwalking.com. So you guys can go ahead and check it out yourselves if you want. It's pretty much it's actually a decent little clip. I mean, you've got Nick and he's got something in his leg, like some piece of, I don't know if it's glass or something, but he's like picking it out and then he goes like that. And the zombies that are around him that he's been kind of traveling with, it seems, turn and kind of sense that something's up and maybe realize that they have a spy. And then they start walking towards him. But there's no indication right now that he puts he's kind of like on top of a car, it looks like. And there's no indication right now that they're going to attack him. They're just kind of walking towards his general direction. And because his legs hurt, it sounds like he's probably not going to run. So he'll probably just kind of hide there and hope that they don't realize that he's a person. Which I'm sure that'll be fine. I'm sure that they'll probably, in the sneak peek, they'll probably walk up there, look, and then kind of like turn around and walk in some other direction or something, which would make sense to me. Or maybe walk past the car or something, and then he could follow them if he wants to, or do whatever he's going to do. So it should be fun. So deadly dog-eat-dog landscape. And then we've seen from all the promos and stuff that maybe he's going to get involved with some kind of, surviving group there that look like they're some pretty nasty customers. We had the part where the guy it was like a machete or a long knife up to his hand. So that reminded me a lot of Rick's. So Grotesque. It sounds cool and it should be really good. There's also an article for how Fear the Walking Dead echoes the original. So it's got kind of a listing, and we'll go over a couple of them, of how Fear the Walking Dead, it's its own thing for sure, but it has a lot of parallels to the original. And I really felt this, and I talked about this when we were doing the mid-season finale, for how Celia, really mirrored Herschel for me a lot with regards to the barn and the zombies that they would keep. I mean, they're very similar. Of course, they're different in terms of their location, their nationality, their groups that they're with, but there's a lot of things about the two in the second season of The Walking Dead and the second season in Fear that are very, very similar, I feel like. And also they draw some parallels between Chris and kind of how he's losing his mind and he's kind of going crazy, and Travis trying to help him, and Shane in The Walking Dead Season 2. So it's a pretty cool article. It's got like a full listing of some of the different things and ways it echoes the flagship series. It's from HollywoodReporter.com, so you guys can check that one out as well and kind of see all the different ways that they have it listed here. A lot of reference to Shane because, of course, in the second season he was a huge concentration. It also compares Travis to Rick. So Travis, of course, Chris's dad, who's looking after him and maybe trying to help Chris, kind of maybe in some similar ways to how Rick was trying to help Shane, and it just obviously didn't work. So that could be interesting. See if maybe Chris could have a Shane type fate at the end of the season. But who knows what they're going to do with it? 100%. There's no way to say. There isn't even a comic book series for us to base it on or anything. And yeah, it looks pretty good. But one thing I would say is with the group being split up, I mean, it's a little bit like the Season 2 finale for The Walking Dead, where they go in different directions. But they quickly find each other again for the most part, and the group, minus Andrea, pretty much all comes back together pretty quickly. This one to me almost seems more like maybe season 4, where they all get spread out, and then it's like almost half a season before the whole group ends up finding each other again, and kind of joining back together. So it's probably going to be tough for Fear. I mean, I think it's a good idea for them to parallel and echo the original series whenever they can, as long as it's not too close to it, which it isn't, because the locations are totally different. We've had the Abigail and that kind of stuff, so it's been good. But the thing is that The Walking Dead has already done so much that for Fear, it's going to be good to parallel, but you wouldn't want it to be like a copy, because with The Walking Dead, of course, we're getting close to 100 episodes now. Season 8's premiere is going to be the 100th episode of The Walking Dead. They've gone through a lot of different story arcs. They've had different types of villains. They've had different locations they've lived at. So for Fear, it's going to be nice to see it go through and have it be somewhat similar, but I wouldn't want it to be too similar to the point where it feels repetitive. And so far it doesn't, because the characters are totally different, locations are totally different, and they did include some fresh stuff, like the Abigail, the boat. We've never seen anything like that in The Walking Dead. And also with LA going down and everything in the first season too, that was quite a bit different from the original Walking Dead, because we didn't get to see that in The Walking Dead because Rick was in the coma until he wakes up, and he wakes up in zombie apocalypse, land, so to speak. But with Fear, they don't just wake up in it. We actually get to see the breakdown of how you go maybe population conversion, which is actually pretty nice. Like, you start off and it's like regular life, and then the zombie outbreak is happening. People are seeing it on their phones, and it really slowly over that season and into the second season is converted into the zombie apocalypse, full-on zombie apocalypse. So you go from like regular life to that, rather than skipping it in a coma, which is good. So close enough, but different enough too. I do like it. So write your comments below on what you guys think of each time Fear mirrors The Walking Dead. If there's any other examples you can think of, maybe with Daniel or some of the other characters and who they remind you of from The Walking Dead, check out the Grotesque clip with Nick. And I'm very excited for this weekend. Of course, we'll be doing the review as usual. We'll be doing the predictions after that for the second episode in that. And this week's episode should be pretty good, especially if you like Nick and you like kind of the Whispers type of feel where you have someone moving around in and among some zombies. Should be really, really cool. So I'm excited for it. I can't wait. And of course, until The Walking Dead comes back on, this is pretty much the big show that I'll be reviewing. I've been doing a little bit of Mr. Robot and some other stuff, but season 2 of that hasn't been the best. So really looking forward to this one, and can't wait to discuss it with you guys, do the reviews and all the usual stuff. If you guys like this video, as usual, please don't forget to thumb it up below. Send me more questions. Going to do a Walking Dead Q&A tomorrow. Not Fear, The Walking Dead, the original. And yeah, of course, for Fear, I'll see you back this Sunday, guys. Subscribe at the bottom left if you're new. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys again soon. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See ya.
You better subscribe.